Alright guys, I hope you're well. Today we are going to speak about Sculpt, the Sculpt system in Blender that is really awesome and really cool, specifically if you come from a world where you like drawing, right? So if you like this and if you want to understand how the Sculpt system in Blender works and how you can sculpt in Blender without making your computer crash, this is the video for you. Let's go. So just before starting, my name is Roman, I'm a 3D French teacher. I have a shitty French accent, sorry, but I hope I can I can teach you some stuff in 3D in Blender, because I'm way better in 3D than in English. So if you don't mind the shitty French accent and my bad English, let's start. So I'm in Blender 2, right? And what I'm going to do here is just show you how anyone in Blender will start a sculpt system, right? So I will not explain again the basics of Blender. So if you don't saw my video on it, just go on it. It's like on the right side of the screen right now. But I will explain you and show you just a little bit like if I was a beginner, if I jump in the sculpt, and why, if you do that, it will be a problem for your scene, and your file will crash and you won't be able to work on it anymore, all right? So often what someone does, it take a mesh like a cube, right? Sorry, a cube. Okay, and it go straight forward in, so it takes this, it go straight in the sculpt mode, right? Okay, and now it's sculpt, okay? And you say, okay, right, it's freaking shit because I can't sculpt because there is not enough point, right? And so what the people does is they just check here because they see a tutorial, whatever, Dyntopo, right? And they say, okay, no worry. And all right, let's go, okay? And I can sculpt and this is fucking beautiful and blah, 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 blah. This is really a bad way to sculpt, all right? And I will explain you why. And I will explain you why is this bad, but often, of course, how you can use it good, right? And I will show you the way that you need to use Blender to sculpt to have your computer and Blender that stay responsive, real-time, and that your file don't crash, right? So let's start over and let's try to understand how the sculpt system works in Blender, okay? So here, I will just come back here in Object. And what I'm going to do here, I will create a cube, right? But this cube, I will just come here and I will show the wireframe. Like that, even in sculpt mode, I can see the topology here, right? I can see the faces of my object even if I'm not in the edit mode. And I will go in the sculpt mode and I will do exactly the same stuff that I did just before. But right now I'm in wireframe and I will see what is really going on inside, right? So I just check Dyntopo here, right? And I start sculpting. And what is going on is at each brush draw, the topology of my object is modifying, right? You see? Each brush draw modify the topology of my object. And to be fair, this is really bad because right now you see that if I zoom in, the topology will be like more detailed each time. So I have something that the topology is shitty. This is all triangle. And the density of my topology is not the same at all everywhere. And this is really bad stuff because what you are going to do now, you are going to sculpt, really happy, and you are going to do some stuff and some, like, you will like make this, and maybe you say, oh, this is not detailed, so I will like, okay, it's not 3 pixels, and all right, and like this I can have a lot of detail, I'm really happy. But you do this like 1 hour, and your file don't work anymore. Because doing this, like, in like, for example, like in 15 seconds here, I just created 32,000 points. And Blender can't manage too much point. If you have like 2, 3, 4, 10 million points in sculpt mode, it will become really quickly a nightmare. And so the question here is, okay, so I can't have too many points, right? But how do I do my details then? Because details are really small, so I need a lot of faces. And Blender created a system to do that. And this system is called the multi-resolution. And this is the way you should use. sculpt mode. Let's try. So what we are learning here, it's called a sculpt workflow. It's a workflow system that will make you able to work in Sculpt with a lot of detail, maybe 20, 50 million faces, without make your Blender crash, okay? So let's try this. So what I'm going to do here, I will not keep this, okay? So I just come back in object mode. And I'm going to do it, I'm going to create an object here, like a monkey, for example, right? But it can be a cube, right? It's not a problem. But the monkey is a little bit more fun to work with. And in here, my property panel, I will go to create a modifier that's called multi-resolution, right? And the multi-resolution is work a little bit like the subdivision surface, right? But at the difference, it's you need you to subdivide each time like doing this, right? And why is that? Is because the difference between the subdivision and the multi-resolution is that if you don't do anything, this is the same stuff. But in the multi-resolution, oh, sorry, you have my head on it, my bad. Okay, the multi-resolution, if I hit subdivide here, remember each of your brush data on your sculpt at this subdivision, right? And this is so cool. Okay, let me show you. Right now, I have the sculpt mode and the viewport mode. I would put the viewport mode at 0, but I will let the sculpt mode at 1 and render at 1, okay? And I come back in sculpt mode, right? And right now you see that I have more faces to work with, okay? I do not activate the Dyntopo. I want to keep my topology clean, right? So I just move right and I work. So let's take the grab key, for example, here. So you have all your brush here. So I just put the grab one. It's used to grab anyone you want. You can move your size of your brush with F. If you press F, your brush is more or less big, and you can move if you want all the setting here too, right? So here, and I just, okay. And I'm starting to grab stuff and to move and to really do some stuff, right? So I'm happy, all right? Okay. For example, right? Why not? And what I'm going to do, take another brush, right? And I'm going to sculpt. For example, I want to have like a little bit more of some stuff here, right? Okay. So you see that I do not have a lot of detail, but it's not a problem, okay? What I want to do here is just work with what I have got, okay? And I work with what I've got at the maximum depth I can. And once I have finished, once my depth is done, I can't do any more detail with this topology. What I'm going to do is just press subdivide again. And then, and now all the stuff I'm going to do here are like a new layer of details saved in this subdivision. So this is really cool because right now I have the subdivision 1 that is remembering all my brush steps, you know, like look at this. Susan is not modifying. Susan is modifying. And now in the sculpt brush 2, all my brushy stroke will be saved in it. Okay, so it's not really my brushy stroke, it's all the final data, but it's the same thing. So if I think correctly, what is really saved in the modifier is not the brush data, but it's the difference between the subdivision result and your sculpt result in distance. But whatever. Let's go in sculpt mode and let's try to do a little bit like more. And you see that when I work around my sculpt, the topology changed just to make it like way more faster, okay? So you already see how this system is way more faster and way more optimized to work than the Dyntopo system, right? So let's try to sculpt some stuff, right? So, all right. Okay, so I'm not a really good sculptor, to be fair. The modeling is not my thing. So sorry if it's a little bad, right? And I don't have a graphic tablet and on the mouse, so it's even worse, right? So okay, let's see that I have done this. Okay, I will remove the wireframe right now. Okay, so this is and I'm happy, but I'm okay. This is cool, but I want more detail here. So how can I do that? Right, once again, you sculpt the most you can as detail, and once you finish, you just press subdivide again, right? And right now you can now do more detail, right? Because you have more faces, right? Okay, awesome, right? So maybe I want to do like a little bump here on the eye, why not? And a little cross here. Okay. Once again, modeling is not my stuff, so don't insult me, please. I know it's bad. All right. Go. For example, okay, the eye is really good here. How can I go even further in detail? All right, just subdivide again. Okay, and let's go. And you see that I have more detail each time. And even I can do now, I can put a texture, for example, when I'm drawing in my brush, not really a texture, but way more of a height map. If it's white, it pull. If it's black, it push, right? So for example, it's used here in texture here, and here is it texture? Yeah, in texture, and you it's stroke. Sorry, it's stroke. My bad. No, it's texture. My bad. Texture, and you just new, right? And you in your texture here. So when you create a new texture here, you can change it here, right? And you can just take a cloud, for example, right? Not noise cloud. And right now you have now a little bit more detail because its brush count will use this texture, right? I will put it a little bit more less scale, right? Okay, better. Okay, just to do detail, right? Okay, so don't worry too much about it. But okay, and right now I have like I don't know what is it, but it's something, right? But just to illustrate through the detail, right? But okay, but I want more detail, right? You want more detail, so how can you do? You get the thing, right? You just go in modifier and subdivide again, right? And right now I want 500,000 faces. It's a lot, but it's not that much. You can continue, okay? After this, it will depend on your computer, but my computer can handle it for now. So let's try it, okay? And right now, you see that I have a lot of detail, all right? And let's try to have more detail with this a little bit more, and my clouds like a little bit definite, right? All right, okay, not bad. Okay, let's see. All right, yeah, cool, okay? You see what I mean? And you will have a lot of detail, right? But the magic stuff about it is when you come back in object mode, you don't see it. And this is why it's great, because you don't see it. So it's easy to have several objects with multiple layers of sculpt, but don't have your viewport like to be really, really thorough, right? So this is really, really awesome, right? Okay. And trust me, there is no other software that can do that in a 3D software. The other one that can do that is ZBrush, but in ZBrush you can animate, so you need a way to export your sculpt data on other software, and this is fucking nightmare. This is the only software I know that can do that quite nicely and so easily, right? All right, okay, cool. So for example, I say, okay, it's fun. Okay, maybe I can put his heights to like this, right. And maybe I can like put a really good pinch here. So to do pinch, you can use crease here and just here, and you come here, and yeah, okay, right. Let's do this. Why not? All right. Just for the fun, right? And maybe I can just draw sharp, right? So draw sharp, yeah, cool, okay? So this is not really a lesson on how to sculpt, but it's way more a lesson on how you can use sculpt correctly and not make Blender crash, right? But this is a way, yeah, you can just try your brushes. A brush that is really cool is a smooth brush. When you can just take it here, or you can just take any brush and just shift, and when you shift, it's just smooth, and you will have an average, so it will remove your detail. It can be useful for many things. All right, so this is really cool. Another brush I like, it's clay one. The clay one is like, it's really like if you are sculpting I don't know if you already sculpt on Argil, but it's really it's really like similar. I like it. And you can use inflate, and inflate is really cool because if you want to do like some button stuff, right, some really ugly stuff for zombie or stuff like this is really useful, right? You see? Wait, my bad. Okay, so it was just to check it, right? So let's add some detail here. Okay, so let's say my eye is really cool right now, but I want even more detail. All right, let's try. So let's divide it again, right? And you see that the subdivision is more and more hard, right? Maybe even when it's subdivided, my recording system in OBS like struggle a little. It's normal because it's creating a lot of new faces. You know, we are 2 million faces. If you don't see this, you can just right click and set statistic here. But right now I can sculpt, and this is really cool. And this does not like feel slow anymore. It's really free, right? It's really time, right? And try to do this with Dyntopo. Good luck, man. Good luck. So let's try this. Right. Okay, I'm happy. Right. Let's do this again. Let's try to have even more detail, right, in my sculpt. So let's try it. And you will see that we will be starting to shoot the limit of Blender here, all right? So let's try. Okay, so we are 8 million faces. You can keep an eye on your task manager just to check if it's not heavy. You see that Blender is 2 GB, so it's not that high now. But if you are becoming to come at 5, 10, 15, it can be a little bit hard. And check if your memory is not that good. Okay, so I'm on Linux, so the Windows task manager is a little bit different, but it's the same stuff, right? So right now it's okay, and I've 8 million faces, and I can sculpt it really well, right? Okay, and once again, this is not slow at all, right? This is not slow at all. So it's becoming slow if I try to move like a lot of faces together, right? So it's why you need to use subdivide level by level, right? So don't be scared about it. Okay, so imagine that I am done here and I want to have even more detail. Okay, let's try together to see how far we can go. Okay, so I will save it because I don't want to lose it, right? So sculpt tutor, right, and save Blender file, and just let's go. I will just open my monitor system to see how it goes in RAM here, and I will just subdivide it again, right? So you see that my RAM is coming up, right? But I have some place left, so it's not that a problem. But if it's go up my 100% RAM, so my RAM is like 32 gigabytes. So if it's go up than 32 gigabytes, I will have a problem, right? But it should be okay, right? Oh, this is weird. This is weird. This should not have happened, right? Oh, this is not good. This is not good. I think we have passed the limit, right? He's trying again. Okay, let's try. So you see how Blender work in the background, actually in the RAM itself, right? Okay, I think we're good. So you see that you need a little bit more RAM first time, and after it's like it did it all and it come back. I don't know why is it doing that exactly, but that's not that a big deal. All right, so now it's 8 GB, right? And I can sculpt on 30 million faces, and this is not that hard, right? Of course, if you're on ZBrush, for example, ZBrush, you can go at 50 million and you will be like real time, but this is not that bad, right? And I can really do whatever I want, right? It's a little bit slow, it's not that real time, but and okay, you need to I recorded this at the same time, so it's not that easy, but the beautiful thing of this is that, okay, this is a little bit like slow in the sculpt system, but I don't care because I can just do up, and I'm done, right? And this is really fast and no problem. And my Blender is only now 2 gigabit in RAM. You can see this. I just lost all my RAM, so really cool. And what is really cool too is that I can just show in my level viewport the first one, right? So I have an idea of where are the things, but I don't need to have all the details, right? And so why is this so cool? Why? Because you keep your original topology. So you can deform your mesh, animating, all will be cool, right? All is homogeneous, all is cool. Why it's so cool too is that now, if I'm doing a render of my object here, you see that this is, once again, it's really heavy. There is like 30 million polygons in it, but now I'm moving only like 1000, so it's really slow, really fast, sorry. And if I do a render, right, so I will create a camera, all right, okay, and I will just, so once again, if you don't know the basics to create a camera and do a render, just check the video here, you will see it. I will not explain it again, right? This is really basic stuff, and you should know that before doing sculpt, to be fair, all right? And let's just do like a really just physical sky, no big deal. Object, right, sky texture. Once again, I explained this in the basics, so if you don't get it, go show them, right? And for example, let's have something like this, right? Okay, so let's try to render this. I will just try to put it a little bit less. Right, okay. Let's try render this. I will to shade smooth, right? And look what's happened when I render. Okay, we should see our resources just to check how this move, because we'll see that your memory will move a lot when you render. Okay, I render. Okay, so I render. Let's check the memory. So it will be a little bit long because it needs to recompute all the subdivisions of your sculpt. Okay, and there is 30 million faces, so it's quite a lot, right? So we'll see how it does, right? And okay, he's finished, right? And so now he can render. And so you see that you have all your details in the rendering process, right? Without seeing it here. And this is so cool. This is really, really cool. Once again, any other software used in the industry can't do that, right? This is so awesome, so useful. In other software, you need to use a fucking displacement map and anything else, and this is a fucking nightmare because you need UVs and you need to have the good definition and you need to be in the good scale. It's a fucking mess. But in Blender, all is clean, all is good, and all is simple. And this is the way you should use your sculpt in Blender, right? But there is a problem with this, and maybe you see it. I explain what is the problem with it too right now. Okay, for example, look at this. I will do exactly the same exercise, right? So I will just take my scene. I will just there is a lot of data in my scene right now, so I will just create a new one, right? You see that? Okay, now Blender is like really easy, right? It's only a couple hundred mega, and I will just create once again a monkey, right? And I will go in the sculpt mode with the same system. So I will go here and I will go in the modifier panel, right? And to create a multi-resolution, all right? And I will subdivide it one time and I go in the sculpt panel and I want to give it like a cone, right? So there is a brush to do that. This is sure, this brush will create a cone, but you will see that this does not work. This does not work. And you won't be able to make it work even if you subdivide. You can see this, it just don't work. The topology is so shitty, you can't use it. So how you can do that in Blender with this system I show you. And this is where the Dyntopo can be useful, right? So we will not use right now the multi-resolution system. What we are going to do now is we are going to go in sculpt mode. But when you do this, my advice is you need to show your wireframe to see what is going on behind the door, right? And I will use the Dyntopo, right? Just temporarily, okay? And I will just do this, right? Okay, all right. And you see that now I can do this because it's creating faces like in real time, right? So I can do like horn like this, right? This is not a problem, okay? Awesome. Maybe we can use like a little bit a mustache here, right? Okay. Okay, cool. So imagine this is cool and this is what we want. This is not so bad because we don't have too much faces here, but the topology is shitty. You can work with it, you can animate it. So what we're going to need to do is to remesh it. So what is remeshing? It's recreating a polygon data from your volume here, your shape, right? And this is here, you can do it here. And what you want is not the voxel size, because the remeshing voxel, it's a shitty way of creating new meshes that use something we call voxel. It's specifically used to create some smoke, some stuff, and whatever. It's really useful to remesh in like whatever way you want when you're working it. For example, if you want to merge two objects together, this is a really useful tool to use. But here we don't want that, because if you do that, right, we can try if you want. Okay, we need to deactivate Dyntopo, right? You see that the topology is really bad, right? It's not good. You can't animate this, and worst, it destroys our lines here. Right, so there is another way in Blender to just remesh your mesh that is way better, but a little bit longer, right? So once again, the remesh with voxel, it's used when you need to work like fast and just redo it, right? But if you need to have something clean, you can't do that. What you are going to do here is you are going to use what we call the remesh, but not the voxel one, right? Not the voxel one, but the quad one, right? And in Blender, it's called the quadriflow. Okay, in French, it's quadriflow, all right? And quadriflow remesh, it's used to do that. In ZBrush, if you come from ZBrush, it's called the Z remesher, right? It's the equivalent tool, right? Even if the Z remesher in ZBrush is a little bit better. Okay, so how do I use it? I just click on quadriflow here, right? And I just check all except this, right? All except this. And this is the number of face I want to. And to be fair, 4,000 will be not enough here. Okay, so I will put like 10,000. And this is the first problem with this method, is that you need to have a little bit more faces to keep your details. Because if you don't have enough faces, the detail will be gone. Even if your mesh was not that dense at the beginning, right? So, and you can say remesh, right? All right, and here we have a problem. And this is the first thing that make me want to put my head in the sand when I use this tool, is that if your topology is not perfect, not your topology, but if your faces are not perfect, Blender will crash with remesh. So first of all, if you have different tool like this, right, this won't work. So you need to remove the eyes, all right? Secondly, if you have faces that are working like against each other, right? So I don't think we have them one. Maybe we have. I'm checking here. I think I'm okay. Let's see. Right. I think it's good. So let's try it again. Quadriflow. All right. Come on, man. Come on. Fuck. All right. The mesh needs to be manifold and have face. Just no. Oh my god. All right. So manifold face means that we have faces that are creating in the mesh, right, without closing it. So I think the way it's happening here, and every time it's a fucking nightmare, to be fair. If you start with a cube, it's a little bit more easier. You can just here. I think we can just close this, right? I think we can just close this right here. All right, and I think it should make the thing work. And we can just select all and just quadrangulate all, so it's a little bit cleaner for him. All right, so let's try. And if it doesn't work, I will show you a system that will a little destroy your meshes. So this is bad, but it could be the only way. All right. And at the end, I will show you the best way to do it, but it's also the more manual way, so it's a little bit longer. Okay, let's try this, right? Come on, man. Piece of shit. All right, so it won't work, so don't worry. What we are going to do is we are going to transpose this system in a voxel mode before, and after we are going to quad. So the voxel mode can be a little bit like, because here we lost a lot of detail. So let's try to have a lot of detail. So the more the voxel size is small, the more the detail will be in. So let's try like 0.1, right? Because it's just like temporary. We will remove it after, right? So let's do this. Okay, right. Okay, not that bad. Right now, we have this. So now, of course, topology is fucking awful, but what we can use is take this and try to create the quad system from this. Because the voxel should remove all the artifacts that the quad wasn't able to use, right? So let's try this. Okay, come on. Oh, man, I will shoot you in the face. All right, we can't. Why we can't? I don't know, but we can't. I think there is maybe a little face in it that is like going in whatever direction. I don't know. Maybe it's this. Yeah, you see this, this kind of stuff. I think it's this kind of stuff that's making it up. But of course, we can't like redraw all the meshes, so you are pretty much in a bad way here. So how you can do here, right? To be fair, the only solution you have here is to create what we call a manual retopology. Okay, so this is the stuff I don't like about Sculpt, because when you use Sculpt to create your base mesh, you need often to do a retopology manually if the quadriflow don't work, and this is like way too often, to be clear. So how do you use this? How do you create a manual retopology? So for this model, it will be not that long. Okay, so you just need to create a model that is way next to this. So how you can do that? To do that, you can just here, we can remove more of them, and we will create a new mesh that is a plane, right? And I will put the plane just here, right? Okay, I put it just here, right? Just on the head, okay? And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take this plane and I'm going to make it here a modifier that is called shrink wrap, right? Shrink wrap. And the shrink wrap will take the object that we want to retopology, right? And now you see the plane that is stitched to the surface, right? And I will create another modifier just around it. It's a subdivision surface, but before the shrink wrap. And like this, we can have like something that's really stitched to it, right? And the shrink wrap will be the subdivision will be simple, right? So we have that, right? And now with this, I can just redo the topology to have something cleaner, right? So I will do something really quick here. I don't want to bother you, right? So here, I think I will do only for the top of the head. I will not do all of it, but if you need to do, you need to do all of it. So you need to know that is how we do it, right? It's a little bit, what I'm doing here, it's a little bit tricky. I will not be in surface, I will outside, right? No, inside. All right, perfect. All right, let's see here. All right, perfect. All right, so of course you need to be careful where you put your point here, right? Once again, this is basic stuff. If you don't know how to modeling or to do this, just go check the basics, right? But just if you don't know, here to create some faces, I just press E, right? I'm in edit mode and press E to create a new edges, right? Because of the extrude mode, okay? But once again, this is not really the goal of this lesson. So if you want to get more of it, just check the lesson of the basic and the modeling, right? Okay. So here we have this, and maybe we can just create a face here, right? F to create a face, and now I can just use this to create my little thing here, right? Okay. All right. So you see that it's not that good, right? But to be fair, my topology is pretty shitty here. I would need to have something way more cleaner. But to be fair, this will be enough for today, right? So now I have just the basic here, and this topology is clean, right? If I hide this topology is clean. I can remove my subdivision, right, to have something like this, and this is clean, right? I can check it. Oh, sorry. This is clean, right? There is no problem here, okay? This is a little bit, but with a little bit of smooth in sculpt mode, there is no problem. So what we are going to do is this. We are going to apply this. So I apply this and this, right? And we have a smooth topology. And right now, I will just here come in smooth on sculpt mode, and I will use the smooth brush and the not Laplacian, but the surface mode, and to open this panel once again. And here I can just use this to create like a more uniform and homogeneous topology, right? So it's a way better way to do this, and a way cleaner way to do this too, right? So awesome. And what is really awesome with that is that it does not really move your shape. Your shape stays the same, so it's pretty awesome, right? And so now I have a clean topology, right? Of course, it is just the up of my monkey. If I would like to do all the monkey, I should make this for all the monkey. You get it, right? But now that I have this, I can now take this, make a multi-resolution on it, and sculpt on it to add the detail, right? So you see that you really have here two parts of this process, right? The first part is the creation of the base mesh, right? So you can use logic basic modeling tool to do it, and this is my advice: you use basic modeling tool to do it, because like that your base mesh is already in a good topology and you can work on it directly. But if you want to use the sculpt system, you need to create your base mesh with Dyntopo and your topology will shit, and you need to try to have a good topology with it, using, for example, the quadriflow if it works. It depends on your mesh, or if it doesn't work, you need to do a manual topology, just like we did here, right? So Be careful with that, because this is not that easy. You saw that the manual topology can take a little bit of time. So, and do not do your details on the sculpt too fast, because your manual topology will make them disappear, right? There is way to get them back, specifically with some stuff called the projection or baking system, but this is way over this lesson today. So here, how I am going to finish it, really simple. Now I have the multi-resolution, you know the drill. I just come here, I subdivide, and I sculpt, and I'm gone, and I'm good, all right? And if I do not need to add some stuff to my base mesh, I'm okay, and I can just sculpt and do whatever I want, right? Okay, so here is the stuff, and here is how it's done, right? Okay, so do not be really scared about sculpt. You can do amazing stuff with sculpt in Blender, but you need to know how to use it like this, right? So let me put a resume here to explain you how you work in sculpt. So once again, you do your base mesh with basics modeling tool, right? This is the best way to do it. If you have a base mesh with basic modeling tools, you can put the multi-resolution on it without waiting, and you can start sculpting, right? But in your sculpt, you don't use Dyntopo on your base mesh, and you don't add some stuff to it, right? But what if you want to create your base mesh with the sculpt tool? You can use it. So you take your Dyntopo, you try to stay the lighter possible, and you create all the thing you need for your base mesh, right? So if you want to, I don't know, a T-Rex, you create the head, the arms, the legs, the tail, etc., 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 right? Once you did it, you need to recreate your topology to be clean, because the topology created by the Dyntopo is shit, right? Do not do the details at this point, right? Do the detail after. So you have your basic bad topology Dyntopo for your base mesh. You need to do your retopology. Two-way here, you can use quadriflow, right? Quadriflow remesh. If it works, you're lucky and you can go with it. If it doesn't work, you need to use manual topology, specifically how I did it with your shrink wrap modifier on your mesh, right? And once you did it, you put your shrink wrap modifier, you can use the sculpt system with smooth to just make your topology a little bit cleaner. And once you're there, you can just put a multi-resolution and sculpt your details, right? I hope this is clear for you, and I hope you see how you can go really, really, really deep in the detail in the sculpt mode in Blender without making your computer crash, right? So I hope you liked it. If you want to learn how to create a movie with me, an entire movie, 3D movie in 3D with Blender entirely, just click here, right? It's easy, it's free, and it's only like 6 or 7 lessons to do an entire movie. So if you want to learn how to do this, all the steps, modeling, rigging, animation, rendering, video editing, to have your final movie here. It's a movie about gladiators. Do you like gladiators? I like gladiators. It's really fun. So if you want to do that with me, if you're not too if your ears is still here, even with my French shitty accent, just go here. It's free. You just receive your first lesson by email. All right. So see you there. I hope you liked it. Bye bye.